Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hobby Lodge. I haven't done a video for a little while, and there's a reason why, and I want to talk about it today with you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on it below. So I haven't done a video recently, and I haven't done any miniature hobbying or any other gaming except for playing Elden Ring on the PS5, and actually for myself playing it on the PC. It's my son that's playing it on the PS5. I've been playing it on the PC, one so that we can both play at the same time because we are always playing it, and we'd be fighting each other over the PS5. And also I'm a big advocate for sort of PC gaming, and for the ease of capturing and all sorts of other reasons that I enjoy playing it on PC. So I've got it on Steam, and he's playing it on the PS5. But I just wanted to talk about this game for a little bit because I want to tell everyone about it, really, just because I've been loving it so much, and sort of yeah, tell you my thoughts on the game. I don't really do game reviews in that sense, but this game's been such a great game, such an impactful game, that I did want to talk about it a little bit. So, what is Elden Ring? Well, it's a game from Software, and if you know those guys, they started out in the worlds of sort of the Demon Souls games and your Dark Souls games and your Bloodborns and so on. So they are known for creating amazing creative worlds with extremely difficult, extremely hard gameplay. But gameplay, whilst I say it's hard, it's fair. Like, if you fail, you know why you failed. You didn't block, you didn't move, you didn't make the right jump, you didn't do whatever. It's on you, not necessarily the enemies. If you play well and do well and get better at the game and get the right equipment and so on and so forth, everything is possible. And Elden Ring, I think, takes it to a whole new level. So, where in the older games, it was very linear. It was, this is the path, and you go from A to B to C to D to E to F to get through. And therefore, if you met something extremely difficult at point C, you were going to bang your head against that brick wall until you finally got through it. And for some people, that was too much. But Elden Ring follows sort of the trait that other games have done. Be open world, allow you to go and investigate an amazing, beautiful environment, to find hidden secrets, to level up and gear up and practice, and if you do hit that brick wall of a boss or an enemy, you've got opportunities to go away, learn, and come back and try again when you're more powerful or whatever. There's puzzles in the game to unlock, do dungeons and new environments. It isn't just about monsters. There's parkour in the game, as frustrating as it may be on the jumping and platforming parts of the game. It is in there. Um, yeah, so as far as the game's concerned, I have now completed it. So I've played about 140 hours in the game, and I completed it around about 100 hours, I think, was when I finally killed the final boss of the game. I'm not going to talk about spoilers or anything, so don't worry about it. I'm going to keep it very sort of high level. But yeah, about 100 hours into the game. I've seen people do it in a lot faster. It's a bit like, and this is the best compliment I can give the game, really, is essentially an adult version of Breath of the Wild, right? And therefore, in Breath of the Wild, there's videos of people just running straight to the main boss and killing it with a spear, and a horse, and that's it. And this is no different, right? There are always ways to get to that final boss in speed running fashion within a few hours. But I would say that is, whilst you might have completed the game, you haven't enjoyed the game. There is so much to do in this. Even now, 140 hours in, there are areas I haven't explored. There are mini bosses I haven't killed. There are dungeons and catacombs and puzzles, all sorts of things and equipment and armor and just builds that I haven't tried. The game is huge. There's quests that are still out to be done. So yeah, I think this game is for your bang for your buck. I think this is, it's a 50-60 game. Certainly on PC, I've seen places as low as £35 for your pound per hour play. This game is right up there in value. It looks amazing. The graphics are super beautiful. The environments are so creative. The people that behind this game that create these environments, and I think George R. R. Martin is involved in, obviously, the story writing behind it. But the places you'll go and play, they are sit back and jaw drop type of environments. There are bosses that are monstrous in how they look and play. And then there's bosses that you'll be like, wow, that's a beautiful looking boss. That is an amazing scene. That is epic at scale. You know, it's a game that I really can't sort of crow enough about, and how much I've enjoyed playing it, and will keep going back to it every moment I get in the evenings. I'm playing it. I haven't done anything else apart from play this game because I've just been enjoying it so much. And of course, there is the opportunity to go and do New Game Plus. Now, I have never New Game Plus a game in my life. I almost don't see the point of replaying the game again. But this is that game where I'm like, I might New Game Plus this because I'm enjoying it so much. I'd love to go and do some of these things again, maybe make some different choices, because there are several endings in this game. I think there's like 7 or 8 different endings, and might make some different choices along the way to see what those things lead out to. But yeah, never contemplated it, but this game is so good, I'm like, yeah, I could New Game Plus this. Maybe take it a bit slower, you know, maybe not try and smash as fast as I did, as many hours as I did. But yeah, I wanna explore this world even more, and carry on. Let me talk about sort of the gameplay a little bit. So yeah, as I said, open world. There's a huge world to explore, but it does it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you immediately. So when you first step out, again, I can only make references to things like Breath of the Wild. That first time you walk out onto the mountainside and you see the landscape in front of you, Elden Ring does something very similar. But it breaks out the land so that it doesn't feel too crazy. You know, you think this is the map, and then something happens, and then another bit of the map, and then something else, and then another bit of the map, and you sort of have a progression there. But you can choose to go there immediately if you wanted to. But you know, if you play the story, if you play the quest, if you play the logical way that it shows the map progressing, you'll get it, you'll understand. There are incredibly hard bosses right at the beginning of the game. If you want to go and have an incredibly hard fight within 2 minutes of where you start the game, there is someone you can fight, and if you can beat it, there is a reward. And then straight after that, you know, there's another one. But at the same time, you can also go off and do some of the smaller things. Go and find your first dungeon. Go and find your first mine or catacomb. Go and do some of the encampments that you can go and do, and take those on. Mini bosses all over the place. Get those first bits of gear. Level up your character a little bit. Learn blocking and attacking, or some of the magic that's in the game. The magic is actually super cool. It looks really awesome as far as magic goes. You know, big epic spells and big explosions and big graphics. So you should definitely look at that. I've gone more down the route of you know, the lone samurai type class, where you know, I'm all about speed and accuracy to finish off my foes very quickly. But there's so many different things you can play, from wizards and sorcerers to knights and samurais and everything in between. You know, you can be a massive dual wielding, you know, a great sword wielding wizard if you want to be. You can play the game entirely how you want, and there's nothing that isn't viable. So you can make everything work in the game. But the combat is tough, right? And you've got to learn to watch for patterns in bosses. You know, they will do certain things at certain points, and if you can start to learn those, you can start to take on those bosses and get round them, and even if they're the size of the sky, you can take them out with your little sword. Just takes a bit of time, and you're gonna die a lot. You know, these games are all about dying, but dying with good reason. You know why you died. You mistimed a dodge. You didn't get in there when the attack was there. You're under leveled. You're under geared. You didn't take the right potion at the right time. And I think it adds a real challenge. So when you finally take down those bosses, honestly, me and my son, we've turned around and high fived each other because, or we've shouted into the sky about how hard that boss was, and we finally took it down. I haven't played a game like that for years. I haven't played a game in years where I've actually celebrated beating an end of level boss, or completing an objective. This is like that. This is proper elation when you've taken down an enemy. So yeah, I can't sort of, and I was never let's say this is from someone who's never played From Software games. My son has played Dark Souls, all 3 of them, and the other games. I never got into them because I hit that brick wall immediately. You know, I hit that sort of incredibly hard boss, couldn't see how I could possibly get past it, and then kind of gave up. But this one doesn't feel the same. This one feels like that's okay. It's okay to hit a wall, go off, enjoy the world, do some other bits and pieces, come back afresh, come back anew with new weapons and new whatever, and have another crack at it, and learn that boss, learn how to handle the maneuvers and the attacks that it might have. So I haven't hit that wall, but I have celebrated wins, which is super rare to happen in video games these days. What else can I talk about? I mean, graphically, it looks amazing. If you've only ever seen sort of screenshots and stuff or videos on YouTube and such, I'm telling you, it doesn't do it justice. On both the PS5 and the PC, sitting up close to it on a screen, you'll have wow moments. I think some people have said the graphics aren't that great. They're missing it. They haven't watched it with their own eyes. I'm telling you, because there are areas of this game which are fantastic. And again, credit to the people with the creative minds to create these worlds. If you've only ever seen like the rolling fields and trees and woods and some of the castles and stuff, this game goes beyond that. You know, there are areas which I can't talk about because I really don't want to give any spoilers away. I don't even want to say what's there in those environments, but everything and anything and stuff that you can't even imagine is in this game. And the game is huge. The map is gigantic. Don't go by what's on those initial screens. It sprawls and goes under and over and all sorts. You know, it's multi-layered, that map. Let me say that. What else could I talk about? Well, you know, probably not much else. Like I say, this video is already sort of 10 minutes long, and I haven't even put any gameplay up. And maybe I will inject some gameplay either throughout this video if you've seen some, or there might even be some at the end. But to be honest, there are so many Elden Ring videos out there. Stick it in YouTube and watch some. Try not to watch anything with spoilers in it, because honestly, don't look at any bosses, because they're just amazing. They are amazing. But again, I guess that also tailors to the game a little bit. A lot of people say, oh, there should be difficulty settings in these games, and I probably was in that camp before Elden Ring. I was probably in. You know, people do like to play games just for the story, just to enjoy the experience. They don't want the huge challenge of becoming pixel accurate on an attack from a boss. So I was in that camp certainly, but I think Elden Ring allows you to get around that in a little bit. You can play hardcore mode. You can try and boss rush this and go through at level 30 and try and get there. And it is possible. Speedrunners have already shown in the game that it is possible to do all the bosses with a very simple setup and get through it if you want to be that person. But it also plays to someone like me who wants to take their time and, sort of engage with the world, investigate, and get more powerful. You know, you can choose to farm in this game if you want to get some levels. You can watch guides on YouTube about how to get somewhere. You could out level some of the areas so that when you go there, you're a bit more, you can take on the bosses that with a bit more ease. You're still going to die because when they hit like a truck and they can still one or two shot you. But you would be more powerful and be able to hit back as hard as they can hit you potentially. So I think there's a scope there. There's a range for people to be able to engage with the game at whatever level they like. So ultimately, I guess what I'm saying is for someone who'd never played From Software games, I cannot recommend Elden Ring more highly. I think for me already, it's my game of 2022. I can't think of another game coming out this year that I think's going to match it. You know, the aesthetic of it, the ingenuity and creativity in the game is fantastic. If I had to have one gripe, and I guess I'm allowed a one gripe at 13 minutes in, is the jumping, is the parkouring in this game. There are platforming areas where you've got to get to somewhere by jumping across a bunch of things, and whether that's on horse or on foot, jumping is a bit of a pain. So it's very easy to miss distance a jump, or your character will jump. You'll think you're doing a long jump, and actually you did a short jump, and you just kind of hop off the edge and go, hey, smash to your death. But luckily, there's these what they call grace points or bonfires in the old games, but in this one they're called grace points. They are all over the place. So if you do die, you're never too far away from getting back into where you are and hopefully collecting those lost ruins, or the souls in this game, but they call them ruins, so that you don't lose too much, and you can get back into the game again and try that again and see if you can learn from your previous mistakes, because it definitely is a game where you've got to learn, right? But yeah, what can I say anymore? Hopefully, you might even give it a try yourself. I cannot highly recommend this enough. It is my game of 2022. I'll put a stake on it now. I don't think anything's going to come out this year that's going to top this game, for just the size of it, the epicness of it, the creativity of it, the gameplay, the elation and joy you have when you beat those bosses, especially when you beat the last boss. Woo! God dear. If you've done it, you know. But yeah, I was, as someone who finds these games extremely hard, to get there and do it, I was overjoyed. And the game doesn't stop. It just continues. You can go off and continue that game. And then, of course, there is New Game Plus, which I think I will be checking out. Anyway, look, thanks for listening to me ramble. Hopefully this is something you can listen to in the background whilst you're doing other things. Hopefully you may be potentially checking this out. I'm sure there's already secondhand copies out there you can pick up fairly cheap. Highly recommend it on both PS5 and PC. I believe you can also get it on the older consoles as well, so PS4, which I've told actually it runs pretty well on the PS4. But I would say, get it on the PS5. Let's see that 60 frames per second, 4K, high definition graphics, all their glory on your big screen, or run it on PC where you can just crank everything to max, and get the full glory of it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hey, hit the like below. Give me some comments. Have you played the game? Are you tempted to play the game? Is it not for you at all? You like me, where you're kind of avoided From Software games because you knew you weren't going to get good, but now this one's potentially tempting you to have a play. Yeah, love to hear your comments below on what you think about this, and please go out and play this game. It is absolutely freaking awesome, and it is taken all of my time and attention for the last few weeks, and I don't see that wavering at the moment. So yeah, great to see you, and I'll speak to you all soon. All right, hopefully get back to some normality with the videos and the live streaming, but that's if Elden Ring lets me do that. All right, cheers everybody, speak to you soon. Bye bye.